supported SV650, this fabulous bike for Formula 3 racing. Also down here as well, the 12 of Royd Walker Holt from Kawakawa. Long way to come for the Jury Performance Centre, Dukic Performance Man. Under the lights, all 5 of them going. When the lights go out, oh, the first one. And unfortunately, there he goes, young Roman to get away. So a bit of bad luck from young Roman Redcheck. So bad luck to Roman, who didn't get the best of starts to get away. But that's what you get with it. So if there's a whole lot of 125s, well, you can expect not to get a good start. But I tell you what, when it comes to these guys, certainly the other bigger bikes do favour that start. But wait till that little 125. We'll be keen to see how his way through with that group as well. So we'll be keen to pick up on his excellence. All right, our super light result of the previous racing. We had Gavin Veltmeyer first, Dean Bentley second, Royd Walker Holt was third, ahead of Hayden Fitzgerald, who made a late charge in the race, ahead of Joel Dykstra, Hugh Trenholm, Gavin Mackay on the Caprillium GCM. Roman Raychek, who got up for 8th place, ahead of David Smith and Gavin Oxtoby. And you may recall the non-finish of Nigel Lennox and Bob Grover, who did not start the race. So an interesting situation with those top riders that there was a little bit of pressure on. This is our final race of the day, folks. Round number 1 of the 3-round series for Suzuki in the summer of 2013 as we check it out. And there we go, down towards them, and you can hear those big ball bikes go at the moment. Hayden Fitzgerald and Royd Walker Holt. So Hayden up there on the bike, so good work out there at the moment. You can catch him out 52 on the racetrack, courtesy of Suzuki New Zealand. Shout out to Ross Graham Motors, his great sponsor, and a hi to Ross. Of course, we're looking forward to seeing Hayden hop on board with the Classic as well. So he'll be doing 3 classes at Cemetery. And I said to Hayden, how are you feeling like doing 3 classes? He said, well, I push biked around Lake Rotorua twice. That's 84 kilometres. That's 2 marathons, of course, because they run the marathon at 40 k's around that Rotorua. So at over 80 kilometres to push bike around there. That is a marathon effort in itself, so don't worry about Hayden Fitzgerald fitness, folks. He'll be there when it's count, so look out for Hayden to perform in that event at Wanganui, wherein he's not just doing 2 classes like he is here today, but he'll be doing 3. How long's it taken for him to get to the front on this F3 sports bike class as well, because he's right here where the action is. So great performance indeed, so well done to Hayden. Check it out on that Suzuki New Zealand, Ross Graham Motors, Pirelli AGV, RST, Felco, iPhone, Harris Taylor, Kiwi Suspension Solutions, South Taranaki Panel and Paint. So Hayden Fitzgerald, there he goes on 52. Chased along nicely now by Gavin Veltmeyer up there on the Coleman Suzuki Auckland Sanyong SV650, so similar bikes that we're watching. In fact, no, that is the 12. That is 12 of Royd Walker Holt. When we looked back before, we thought it was Gavin. It was looked to be a 2 on board, but I think we've seen a change in there. It's almost like a time for binoculars and have a closer look at that second place. So Royd, of course, he was, it is Gavin Veltmeyer. I think there's a penalty. That's what's caused it, though, Spider. He jumped the start. So that's why his results are showing further back. So it is the number 2, but the results are showing that he's back there in 9th place at the moment. So he's got the time penalty. He's got the 22nd time penalty. So that's why, even though he's second on the racetrack, so what he's got to do is he's got to get more time over 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. So it shows his results coming up. So that's the update, Spot.
Well, aside from that, does he actually know? He might not have sensed it himself. Normally there's a to come out, and I haven't seen that this weekend. I've seen a few jump starts. I'm not sure how they're running the rules here, but normally there's a board comes out, tells you you've got your 20-second penalty, so that's where it is. But anyway, there it is. It's still taking nothing away from bike number 52, which is Hayden Gerald on the beautifully prepared SV6. And Gavin's in 2nd place. Look how Dean Bentley was on fire last. Still sitting there on 4th place on the thing. It is Fitzgerald, Royd Walker Holt, Joel Dykstra, followed by Dean Bentley. Now, Fitzgerald's done a 12.080. The quickest time is Gavin Veltmeyer on a 12.040. Going into the 13s, both pretty much the same. Royd Walker Holt and Joel Dykstra as well on bike number 90. 8-lap race here for the final race. We're 3 through, we've got another 5 laps, and then it's time to have a couple of beers somewhere along the line after a bit of a tidy-up. That bike's smoking more and more. I noticed it in the last race. That bike of Hayden Fitzgerald was smoking, and it's now trailing smoke all the way coming into that dipper, so hopefully it's not on its way out.
It might need the Ross Graham Motors treatment spider. I think a little bit of work. You would not see a high-performance bike like that with smoke from it, so there's a little bit of a challenge, but the good news is it's still working all right. Don't worry, they still make oil, and he's got some iPhone, so there's no problem there. He can put more in it, but there's a bit more coming out the back of it as well, and let's hope it's just burnt smoke and not any residue that would go particularly onto the track for Gavin Beltmire behind. So we do have Gavin behind, folks, and in that update we're keen to look out. Now Gavin has peeled off the penalty already, so he's peeled off the penalty, Spider, so he is second for second, so the 20-second penalty, he's got more than a 20-second buffer, so the penalty has gone back to nothing. So that looks to be the case because he is in second now and given the second place on the racetrack. Now look out for young Hugh to go through, Hugh Trenholm out there, because Hugh has been got the smaller bike as well, so he's another one in their field with the disadvantage of only being the small little 125. Now, arguably a lot of hard work out there on a smaller 125 to do it at the moment. So here we are, our F3 sports bike class, and good work out there. Hayden Fitzgerald, a much better racer this one. It's like Hayden just having to work his way into the meeting, Spider, just loosening up. Improved ride in the second outing on the F1 Superbike, and improved outing this time in F3 sports bike.
Yeah, definitely. He's a very laid-back, casual sort of a guy. I don't know where he gets his tact and just fearless attitude on the track, because you wouldn't think it talking to the guy. He just seems to be laid back and calm and cool and that sort of thing. But he's now showing us how it's done. He's actually he's the fastest man on the track. He's done 11.845. The next man's into the 12s or 13. So that is Hayden. Don't know what work's been done on the bike. I don't even know whether his father Terry's here to actually do the work on it, because it is the bike that he's been riding. Had a nasty crash at Whanganui in the warm-up in the qualifying last year, and broke his shoulder and a few ribs or somewhere about that, his collarbone or something, and it looks like Terry Fitzgerald may have hung up his leathers. Hopefully it's just for temporary time, but me not out of his boy there. He'll be watching on CTAS if he's not here. We haven't been over the pits at that time of the day, and there it is. That bike changes and it's smoking too. Sometimes it was trailing a lot of smoke coming in there. Every now and then it's just a puff, and it's only on that dipper that I can actually see what's going on. So there we go on the track. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth place on the track is Dean Bentley on the Stokes Valley Collision TSS Red Baron sponsored machine, the Zany Zeus sponsored bike, Continental tyres as well. He's wearing number 3. Why? Because he's third in the New Zealand Championships last season, hoping to go up to that top spot. And of course the Hamish Murphy, last year's New Zealand Championships, not contending it, but there's a few other guys out there on fire. Nick Sutherwood will be there, and who else? Royd Walker-Holt looks like he's a man of the future in the Superlight class, although this is the Pro Twin bike we're talking about. It is Superlight Formula 3 here at Hampton Downs, but Dean Bentley will be competing in the 650 Pro Twin, same machine. Pretty sure they'll be on the same grid at the racetrack, and you'll just pick them up by different coloured number boards. So that's what's happening. So the last race of the day, we've got a couple of laps. In fact, just 2 laps left. Still Hayden Fitzgerald. He's a good 2 seconds faster than second place man out on the track there, and he's showing us how it's all done.
Always good spot to actually listen to a Formula 3 like this, because you can hear V-twins, you can hear the difference with a multi-4, you can often hear a single, but in particular there's two two-strokes out there. The little 125s, and they sound very different, and it's great just to hear the complexity of what the straight Formula 3 class is. And look at the little buzz out there at the moment of 25 for Roman Racek on that fabulous little Honda RS125. Great future for that young rider on the little bike. So just adding some spot to it, and a nice way to round out a great day here at Hampton Downs.
Yeah, he's a good kid too. He's got a good positive attitude. I said, how you going with the 125? Only been on a couple of meetings. Oh, we're getting there slowly. I said, well mate, slowly's better than fast. He's just got to inch away at it, and he did the series, did the National Championship Series on a Magelli 250 in the development class year. Always comes in with a big smile on his face, and it's good. And 3 generations of the Rajeks in the family are here at the racetrack. There's Grandad Wes, father Jamie Rajek, who owns the other bikes and that sort of thing, and son there. So that's always good to see. And I'll tell you what, they put on a damn good feed any time we're at Taupo as well, because they usually get a corporate box at the National Championships and put on a feed for all their supporters and sponsors from the region. So white flags out, the last white flag of the day. We've only seen one red flag all day, thank God for that, and unfortunately we had to see one of them. But started the day with wet in the late qualifying, and then we had a couple of heavy showers come through that made it very, very wet conditions for 2 or 3 classes, but it's ended up as a perfect day. There's a bit of cloud round, but it's actually got cooler as the afternoon's gone on, and we're ready for the final thing. There we go, Hayden Fitzgerald, bike number 52. Congratulations, Hayden. Looking out on the different, on the track it's Gavin Beltmire, but I don't know whether that's actually going to be the case. I would expect it's that's on the track, and then Royd Walker-Holt should come through in for 3rd place. Joel Dykstra, followed by Dean Bentley.
Well, outside of that little bit of drama we thought earlier today, where we saw what we thought was a lap record, but thought it was so unusual in the conditions, the rest of the times today Spider have been a little behind the 8 ball. Certainly that wet track this morning really dulled things down, so we weren't going to see lap records here, but other than in fact